Hey everyone, welcome. Today we are going to do the fall announcement for the rekindling groups. I also wanted to touch on some stuff that happened over the weekend in Charlottesville. So first, the announcements. So we have coming up, as we do every fall, the Know Thyself. For those that don't know, the Know Thyself is a 10-week study aimed at trying to figure out exactly how you're wired, the details, your strengths and your dreams and your weaknesses and your values, a bunch of things. And you take all the answers, you put them together, and you figure out the patterns and what God's called you to do. So the fall group is going to start on Sunday, September 10th and run through November 12th. That'll be from 1 to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We actually keep that to just 6 slots, so that's going to fill up quickly, just FYI. We also have 4 unpacking studies, and I've talked before about how the unpacking studies, we take one biblical concept and then we run it for 4 weeks, and we look at the original Hebrew and Aramaic and Greek wording. We find all of the passages that touch on that topic, and then as a group we split it up and read through those verses and then share with each other the insights and patterns that we see. So by week 4 we can have a conclusion on what exactly is the Bible trying to say about this topic or this issue, and then how does it affect me? How am I supposed to pursue it? What does it result in, etc. And so the 4 that we're going to do for the fall are love, power and strength, prayer, and leadership. And so the love one will be Tuesday nights. We start on September 12th. It runs through October 3rd. That'll be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in the evenings. And then the power and strength one is going to go on Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. to noon. And that'll be September 16th through October 7th. And then later in the fall, we'll do the other 2. So we'll have prayer we'll do on Tuesday nights, 6:30 to 8:30. That's going to run October 24th through November 14th. And then leadership or leading, we will do on Saturdays, 10 a.m. to noon, and that's going to run, I think, October 28th through November 18th. So the reason why I had chosen these 4 was love, of course, is the answer to everything. It is the greatest commandment. It is the thing that actually transforms and overcomes and changes. And so we did love a couple years ago when we first started the unpacking, but we're going to upgrade it with the new kind of format that we go through. And when you look at love and you realize that God loves you, you need to love yourself, you need to love others, you need to love your enemies, and you actually see what love is, it really makes a difference. And so I highly, highly encourage people to go through that. The power and strength is a new one. It's one that I've always in the back of my mind wanted to do, and just look at what the Bible has to say about what is power, how does one get it, how does it, what can it achieve, how is it to be used for resiliency, resisting temptation, creating change, etc. And then the prayer one we also did 2 years ago, the first year we started the unpacking, and that's a great one. Really getting into that it's not just talking to God, it's a two-way listening, and even beyond the conversation element, it's just an experiencing God. And so we go through and we look at what the Bible has to say about prayer and what it can achieve, how it can be done. We get into some practical things, how can you begin to recognize God's voice rather than just your own or the enemy, whispering to you? And so that one is practical. It's a game changer. It changes the way that we normally do prayer. And then the last one, leadership or leading, that's another new one that I have long wanted to do. And so what do the scriptures say when it comes to what does it mean to lead? Who is to lead? Who are you to lead? Where are you to lead them to? How might one lead? Is it just an influence? Is it a creating some sort of, or leading a project? How does that work? So anyway, so those are the 4. And I had chosen them last week. And then, of course, the stuff happened in Charlottesville with the racism and just the hate on both sides, and it was ugly. And that's something that we've already seen a lot of. Well, I think we're going to see more of. And I was thinking about it, and of course, everybody's posting on social media their thoughts, and I didn't post anything, and just wanted to give it a couple of days to chew on what's the right approach. And so just wanted to say this real quickly. I believe that we need to think spectrum and not deal in extremes. Einstein talks about you need to rise above at the level of which you created a problem to solve it. And so I want to rise above. I'm all about the biblical counters and temperance. I'm all about solution-focused counseling. and looking forward. And so I was thinking, what if we want to rise above this, and we don't want to stay to the sides, and we want to head forward, and we want to try to counter and temper the hate, the anger, the fear, the selfishness, whatever it is that's going on. What are some things that would help with that? Well, then when I thought about the 4 that we're doing with love and power and strength and prayer and leadership, I realized all 4 of those actually play into this. And so if the stuff that's been happening has been bothering you, I encourage you to consider taking one or all of the studies. They're $20 each, which gets you the 4 weeks and all the material. Consider taking them and equipping yourself better with a better understanding of what love is and how to love, and how to use strength properly, and where prayer comes into play, and how you can lead and influence others to go in this direction. So consider taking them. I think they could play into this. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you want to sign up, I put a link to the Band app. We have a Rekindling app or Rekindling group through the Band app. So I'm going to put a link to that in the comments below, and you can click on it, and it has all the dates and the details, and you can RSVP. So hopefully you'll consider it. I'm excited. There's some other things going on in the fall, which I'm not going to announce now. I'll announce them later. Some other trainings and things that we're rolling out. New season 3 of the podcast is also coming out this fall. So anyways, I hope you guys are well. If you have any questions, let me know, and hopefully we'll see you in the groups.